Hi guys, it's Nick again, and we're back on building the West Wings Swallow. Now, we've obviously built rudder, tailplane, elevator, it's all there. Just thought I'd run through a couple of little tips for you just as you get to this process, and then we'll go on to building the wings. A couple of things. A Dutch friend of mine has kindly sent me a magnetic pin holder. Ludwig Wackerman very kindly sent me this. It's custom made, and it's magnetic, so I can put all my pins in there and they're not going to go anywhere and they stay nice and still. A couple of things. Very small pair of pliers, and what you want to do is you don't want to be lifting these pins with your hands, because you might find that if some of them are embedded quite firmly, then that you might actually hurt your fingers. So I actually find it's better possibly to go around with that. I was going to say possibly because there will be people now screaming that I should be wearing safety glasses, but I'm going to need to wear my glasses anyway because age never comes alone. Your bathroom shaft gets wider and I need glasses to be able to see what's going on here. So I'm just slowly taking these off. Now what you've got to be careful of is you might find that obviously the structure begins to move. Well, that's perfectly all right, but what you've got to be careful of is that you get all the pins out first, and you'll notice that what I'm actually doing is I'm actually putting my finger close to where the pins are. That will stop you pulling the structure off the table, which I've nearly done on a couple of occasions and ruined the whole thing. And now we've got one more to go. Now this particular bit of structure is going to come off quite neatly. Little tip though, if you find it's still stuck to your paper, just very carefully get a small blade, and if you just gently leave it underneath the structure like so, what you'll find is that will lift off, and then you can take off. You may find that if it is actually stuck to the paper, you'd be better just taking off your plastic or your paper that's the covering and then lifting the whole structure off and then taking it off. But there, voila, there's a nice rudder and the fin post. That's all ready to go. So what you want to do is, at the moment we're not going to do any sanding, we're just basically making all the structures. So this needs to go somewhere safe. I'm going to do exactly the same with the elevator, and then when you come back we'll be looking at the wings. So you'll notice how this one is just sticking a little bit, so I'm just sliding this blade just underneath. If I meet any great resistance I'm going to stop, but at the moment this is coming out very nicely, so I'm just going to run this along all the glue joints, being very careful not to lift anything. So that's coming all the way around, gone round the outside. Some of the structure unfortunately you're not going to be able to get to just because of the sheer depth of it. We're just going to try and literally lift as much as we can, and then there we go. There is a nice elevator. That's supposed to break, by the way. I can hear there may be some gasps in the audience, but don't forget that's going to be moving. So there we go, that's beautiful. We're going to put that to one side now with the rudder, and let's get on to the wings.